You're listening to Empire of Rust, the world's first and only Transformers RPG podcast. Join the heroes of Iacon as they defend Cybertronian civilization from the remnants of Cybertron First to Lord Starscream's egotistical leadership, and beyond to the unknown threats on the other side of distant stars.
Welcome back, everyone, to Empire of Rust, your favorite Transformers RPG podcast. Certainly my favorite, certainly all of your favorites.
Oh, you want us to respond? Yeah, sure.
It's awesome.
I have to think about it.
Massive.
It's lovely.
Massive awesome.
That is good. That is good. Mike, you're the only one I haven't heard from yet. I guess it's not your favorite podcast.
It's not. Sorry.
What are you on about? You were just talking about how much you love it.
It's my favorite podcast to be in.
Ah, there you are. Wait, how many are you in?
Also, your least favorite to be in? This is both your favorite to participate in and your most hated to participate in.
Gotta love low sample sizes.
Right?
All right. Well, today we're going to do something that I promised all of you that we'd never do. Anyone want to take a guess what that's going to be?
Juggling with knives.
Good guess, but I never promised you we wouldn't do it.
Not get distracted?
Also a good guess. Did I promise that?
I think you gave up around episode 2.
It was implied.
Yeah, probably closer to episode 1. Maybe even that episode 0 we never released.
Shock the DM.
Hey, we're the only ones that will.
Don't ask for episode 0. You're not going to get it. No, the thing that we are trying, that I've told you we are never going to do, is starship combat.
Yay.
And the reason for that is all because of Adam.
Yay. Wait, what are you blaming me for now?
Yeah, you got it.
Last week, Adam, actually in a different game that most of us play in, Adam actually ran us through a starship combat that was, and I will admit, the best starship combat I've participated in. That being said, I think I've participated in 3, so low sample size.
Considering you hate them, isn't it like picking your favorite root canal?
Like, yeah, it's like low. that is a low bar. You know, that was a low bar.
Yep.
Impressive.
Thank you, I suppose.
That was the best.
In order.
That was the best time I was kicked in the balls. Like, you know, like.
They only got one.
Well, to put it into context, for anyone that's played Starship Combat in Starfinder, it was a battle. It was the PC ship, another ship that they were trying to come to the aid of, 5 enemy ships, and 2 assisting ships. And the whole thing took from beginning to end an hour.
Which is light.
That's impressive for
which
that
is
many.
light speed for starship combat.
Aye, it is. But it can be done.
That's like a 100th of a turn in what is it called? Starfleet battles or whatever it is?
Starfleet battles, yep.
Yeah.
Starfleet battles. The best starship combat game out there, also the most dense.
Yes. Yeah, like, you can literally spend a whole day on like one round.
Totally could. But no, the reason that I generally dislike starship combat is because it feels very much like a completely separate game to Starfinder. There's a totally different rule set for it, totally different turn structure, totally different roles. It's not that it's a bad game in its own right. And if there was like a board game where that was all it was just starship combat, I think I'd be totally down for it. But that disconnect between going from like role play to the more technical like starship combat side of things always throws me, and it takes me out of the action. It's just not my favorite thing to do. But I mean, Adam over here, he helps out with another Discord server, the DSCL.
Yep.
If I got that right. The
Discord Starship Combat League, or Darwood's Starfinder Combat League. There are a few different meanings to the anagram.
And yeah, the entire Discord server is all about Starship, like learning and playing Starship Combat. So everyone who plays in there really, really enjoys it and really loves it. So,
well, that's how it started, but it's evolved quite a bit since then. We've got all kinds of campaigns going on, play-by-posts, got in-person, not in-person, but, virtual tabletop games. Of course, there's the Starship ranks. We just started up the vehicle combat ranks and the mech combat ranks because of the new Tech Revolution book that's out.
Yep.
Or rather, it was new months ago.
The Starship Combat with me has just, it's never really been like my favorite thing to do. But because Adam ran it so well and so efficiently last time, I thought, you know what? I can give it a shot. I can try it out. And I can fail at it miserably too. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump back in to where we were when we left off at the last episode. All of you had gotten back to the Steelhaven, gotten the unconscious body of Nico out of the Krankenhaus and got him to the ship, and got yourselves off of Scarvix, because public sentiment was kind of turning against you guys, especially with the attack at the Ministry of Culture. So with that being said, you folks were heading outbound towards the world of Teonia, because you had picked up a message, or intercepted a message, and I believe it was you, Magnum, that was able to kind of track where the relay station was, and it is, again, near the world of Teonia. You guys are heading out to the Ovtus sector, where the world of Teonia is supposed to be. And it is going to take you 3 weeks total to get there. So it is quite a long trip. It is out in the middle of the Black Block Consortium territory. So it is very dangerous for mechanical beings to be in that territory, because the Black Block does not like you guys at all.
They can kiss my hole.
Why?
The Black Block Consortium was originally part of the Galactic Council, and the Galactic Council hates you guys because of your 4 million year civil war that has caused countless destruction to other planets.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that would apply to a lot of people.
if they would just make their buildings so that they could transform and get out of the way, they wouldn't have so much destruction. So on their head be it.
Cybertron's very much the Roman Empire of space, isn't it? Leave a wasteland and call it peace.
Cybertron didn't transform in a day.
You have 3 weeks to do whatever you like on the ship. So just give me a kind of very basic rundown. Like, what do you guys want to do? Why don't we start off with you, Magnum?
Well, Pythagoras is going to fix Carapace first and do his upgrades. So that would be his first. The arm is obviously the most important thing. Anyone else? Also, any follow-up care for Nikos.
What other upgrades is Carapace getting?
In addition to his arm being reattached, regrown, whatever the mechanic is for that, it's going to be the speed suspension system that I have implanted in my legs is going to be upgraded. So I will now be faster, because it's good to be fast. Actually, they're actually part out of they're made out of Sweet Spot's, the remains of Sweet Spot's legs. So carrying a little bit of...
There isn't actually any engineering behind it. It's just inherently faster. Yeah. It's like painting racing stripes on something.
We did talk about how Sweet Spot is a speed thief, so...
Your Carapace is getting a psychosis from both being in Sweet Spot's mind as when he was, Alloy, and the loss of him and just collecting bits and pieces of him.
Actually, speaking of Alloy, does, and it's probably out of turn, but does, what is it, Vermin? Abject.
Denizen?
Denizen.
Vermin.
I knew it was wrong, but
I don't know. That feels pretty right. That feels pretty right to me.
Does she have the combiner feat? I mean, this is sort of out of game.
No, she doesn't have the combiner feat.
No one could stand to be around her that long.
But the rest of her.
You're not wrong there.
So,
Something that you guys will have to think about and deal with as it goes along.
Hey, just turn into your massive form there, and I'll step under you and hold you up from the waist.
because we're going to be missing a leg.
I'll be a prosthetic for you.
That's not her leg.
What else is Magnum doing over this time?
He'll start out, since Pythagoras is going to be about, he will start out connected to the computer system and just make sure to establish a full surveillance net of the system, and make sure he figures out how to control directly as much of the ship as he can.
Okay, sounds good to me. Is that like a training thing that you're doing for skills, or is that just more flavor?
Well, it's not really training skills, but it's also preparation.
Okay.
So that if he needs to control the ship, or he needs to keep an eye on everyone, which is what he's going to be doing, it's all ready.
All right, sounds good to me. All right, cool. Well, that is Magnum and Pythagoras for the next couple of weeks. Wildstrike, how about your bad self? I imagine you're still, not feeling so great after that spark transplant that you done. That was pretty rough for you, wasn't it?
That was pretty rough. I'll probably take some time to recover from that. Check with Nico, see how he's doing, because I'm assuming that he's not doing so well either.
Yeah, he's not waking up. Everything seems like physically okay with him. His spark is strong and it is steady. It just seems like he's having some trouble regaining consciousness. So this kind of concerns you, and I imagine you spend days at his side, just trying to see if you can get him to get a response. It feels almost like he'd be like in a coma, but all of his vital signs still are functional and are good. So he's just not waking up, and you're not quite certain what to make of it.
Can we hit his tint button, maybe changing the yellow back to the green or the or the blue is what's off?
Just grab the dial.
Yeah,
just tune it in.
But even with Pythagoras' help, it's he's not waking up. He's not losing energy or anything. He looks physically okay. It's just you can't get him to respond.
Well, I will try and do what I can.
Okay.
I know it's not doing much, but maybe I'll try to do some research into his condition, see what other things we might be able to try.
And Pythagoras will take care of Wildstrike too, then, considering he's in bad shape, so he'll get him back up to health.
I heard there's this thing called True Love's Kiss that can bring sleeping people back. Yeah.
Any of us call any Cinderfellas here?
Fine, I'll do it.
If he transforms into a slug or something, I'm going to be very upset.
It's a data slug. Any training over the course of these 3 weeks?
No.
Okay. Carapace. The first day or two, Pythagoras is going to be working on you to fabricate an arm and to get it reattached to you. The color's off. It's close, but it's a little bit off. And he does get your speed suspension installed into your legs. You seem so fast now.
Cool.
So what's Carapace up to for these 3 weeks?
Since I'm in this absolutely massive ship, it's really hard to screw up piloting with this. So this is a good time to kind of get my, space train. How do you do that? Like the SPT thing that we've been doing. Training wheels.
Spraining wheels.
Spraining wheels.
So I actually leveled up my my piloting skill, so that's good. And other than that, I think I've been through Tijuana once before, so I'm going to just kind of work on learning about that culture, like the whole like umbrella hats and the worm
juggling
the
geese.
worm thing, But I'm about 4 days away from leveling my culture. So
nice. Do you want to give the listeners a quick reminder of how the leveling works for our skill training?
Oh, certainly.
Downtime skill training.
Downtime skill training. It's just like a way to. A lot of the classes have just don't get a lot of skills, so this is like allows us to use downtime to kind of focus towards that sort of thing. So typically it's 80 hours of training or study per rank that you're going up to. So like if you have no rank in a skill and you're learning your first rank, it would take you 80 hours. But if you're going from rank 1 to 2, it would be 160. From 2 to 3, it would be 240. Blah, blah, blah. So it gets harder. The more skilled you are, the harder it gets. So it encourages people to get better at the skills that they don't really know anything about.
To broaden your knowledge set.
Yeah. That's it.
Excellent. And Denizen.
Aye.
Denizen, this must be one of the few times you end up being on a starship in your life. I can't imagine you're on ships that often.
It's not my favorite thing, but I guess first things first. I'll have to find a place to make my den, so I'll go about looking for empty rooms if there are any.
I'm sure you could find one of the crew quarters that's empty.
If not there, then I know that there's definitely one room not being used.
And what room is that?
Hey, Sweet Spot's old room. He's not using it. But out of a bit of respect, I'll not linger in there. I'll definitely go in and poke around, see what's what. Chunky bumpers? What kind of a magazine is that? Hey, who reads Chunky Bumpers? And after that, I suppose I'll...
It's not just fast cars he likes. He likes fast women too, apparently.
Right. That's fine for him. Hope he finds them wherever he's gone. After that, I suppose I'll go around and make the acquaintance of all the ship's crew and, introduce myself. So, hey there, you're the captain, eh?
That's right. My name is Silverload. And who might you be?
Hi, I'm Denizen. Fairly new to the group here. Just tagging along for the ultimate endgame stuff that we're all planning, sorting about. Are you, are you in on it?
I'm not certain what you mean. I'm just the captain of this ship here.
Well, then never mind what I said. Means nothing.
I hate you so much.
So, what's this do here? I'll push a button.
Don't press that button.
Oh, what's it do?
That's the self-destruct.
Self-destruct. What are you on about? Who puts a self-destruct on a ship?
Everybody.
Obviously, those Transformers who can turn into ships and planes and things that can fly away in safety. I don't know anything about engineering either, so I don't know if that's the thing or not. Maybe it is.
All right. You can stay off the bridge.
Fine. Keep your bridge to yourself. Who needs it? I don't. I'm going down below. Engine room's where I'm going. And down in the engine room, say, so, this here's the power core. Hey, it looks a bit hot. Should it be glowing like that?
And Blue Shift comes up to you. Well, yeah, of course. It's a power core. It's a. What do you expect it to be? Wait a second. Who are you again?
Oh, name's Denizen.
Name's
Need
Blue
to
Shift.
repair.
How you doing?
Blue Shift. Aye, pretty good. Pretty well.
You seem like a pretty fun fella.
I'm not a fella.
Shayla.
Oh,
I'm a girl.
Alas.
Do you not see the shape?
I don't see gender.
I kind of turn and give a little profile view.
I can't imagine it matters a great deal to Transformers.
It probably
just,
doesn't.
It's just all identity at that point. But yeah, so you can wander around the ship there, Denizen, and meet all of the crew. Blue Shift seems pretty happy to see you. Silverload does not.
Blue Ship probably won't be that happy to see me. For instance, I'll go over to like one of the screens. Doesn't look like this is quite clear. I'll go to like wipe it clean, but my claws will scratch up the screen.
Whoa, hey, what you doing there? What you doing?
I was just trying to get the glare off.
The glare is supposed to be there. Now you scratched up the screen.
That's fine. It'll buff out, probably. I don't know.
And he will call one of you guys over. I imagine probably Carapace would be the one walking around the ship most. Hey, Carapace, can you give me a hand here? Why don't you show Denizen the training room? Yeah, the training room. That'd be a pretty cool place, don't you think? Yeah? All right, cool. Go on.
It's right next to the brig, right?
You used it as a brig? Yep. Alright, but yes, so you can wander around and talk with all of the crew. And for the most part, until you wreck one of their stations, they are very pleased to speak with you.
And just so you know, I have 0 ranks in computers, 0 ranks in current culture, 0 ranks in diplomacy, 0 ranks in engineering, and 0 ranks in medicine. But I will attempt to go and make a friendly conversation and attempt to understand to a small degree physically the things that make those places work.
Do you know what kills me? It makes me so angry about this. I was exactly the same way until we started playing with this group. You know, almost every rank I have in any of those skills I did with my downtime skill training. So
it's a wee bit like looking in a mirror? Is it?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Is it not?
Yeah. Apparently
so you like where you've been?
Scratched up, accidentally with no glare mirror.
Hey, how did you get the glare off of it? That's a wonder it is.
Well, take it outside into the airlock.
Wildstrike, you guys have almost made it to the Ovtos system. And you're getting closer to where the Vault of Stars is supposed to be. What's going through your head right now?
Anxiousness to finally discover what happened. A lot of unknowns going on. This might give me the answers that I'm looking for.
So to kind of review it real quick, Sandstorm had told you that he killed you during the Mangarai offensive, and he said that he killed your friends there, Tiltfire and Tremor. But it's kind of obvious you're not dead. Neither are they. So, what do you know? What can you confirm?
That we weren't dead. That's basically it. He was shocked to see me. So
that's right.
I wouldn't think he'd be lying about it, or at least, as far as he knows, he thought he had killed us.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, we tried to look into some of the information, but we didn't get very far. Other than the Vault of Stars being a location that we came from there after the war. Is that what it was?
After Mangarai, there was a transfer order where you were supposed to be sent to the Vault of Stars as security personnel, but you have no memory of anything happening to you there.
Right, and supposedly I was there, and this was after I had been killed, supposedly. So,
Yep.
like I said, I can't confirm anything other than he thinks that he killed us, and we aren't dead.
Sure. And you know that certain high-ranking, like, Decepticon stations and, like, research outposts will have, like, this kind of cloak of secrecy about it. So even if you're stationed there, if you're not part of the scientific group, once you're transferred out, your memories will likely be wiped of the place. So there could be a period of just years where you don't have, like, anything, no memories of it, because it was wiped, and you would have known that going into it.
Makes it hard to write a CV.
Yeah, true.
Didn't they make a movie about that?
They are
It was like
Decepticons.
Next, with Ben Affleck, where he was like a super genius, and he was hired to, like, you know, fix a technology, but as part of his contract, he had to forget what he did. But, you know, like
Close. I think that one was called Paycheck.
right, Paycheck. Next was the Nicolas Cage one. We could see 30 seconds to the future. Right, that was
Yeah, I can see how you could totally get those two actors mixed
Yep.
up.
similar quality.
All right, well, I will let everybody know what the destination is of all those stars, and as much of it as I know, and with the caveat that I don't remember my time there, because most likely my memory was wiped as a standard procedure. However, there's something there that will give me answers to my past that I need to find.
Is this before or after you died?
It should be after I died, but again, my memory of the place is non-existent, so I can't say for sure.
So what do you hope to find here?
I hope to find answers to what I was doing here, answers to how I survived. I mean, he was pretty sure that he killed us, and we're still running around. It's not like we died, but supposedly we did. So I want to find out what happened.
Okay, let's do it then.
Thanks.
The Steelhaven drops out of FTL along the outer edges of the Teonia system, and Captain Silverload orders a full scan of the system. And let me go ahead and transfer you over to a new map.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look at the wee ship.
Alright, so I just went ahead and pulled all of you over to a new map, and we are gonna do something that we haven't done yet. We're gonna do a little bit of starship combat. Now, Magnum, I'm sure you are connected to the ship and are looking through all of its sensors,
Yep.
and you are getting some concerning readings here. You detect 7 weapons batteries on asteroids circling a larger asteroid that has a built structure on it. And on that asteroid, with the structure, there are 4 turreted weapons on there. So jumping right into starship combat on this. Now, starship combat works a little bit differently than typical combat, so you're not going to roll for initiative right away. Combat happens in 3 phases: engineering, helm, and then gunnery. Engineering is kind of self-explanatory. You're doing all of the engineering goodness that your ship can do. Helm is also self-explanatory. You're going to fly the ship. Gunnery is the confusing one. You're going to shoot. That's a joke, I tell. So every ship goes through these 3 phases: engineering, helm, and gunnery. And each player has a specific role on the ship that can act in any of these particular phases. Why don't we start off with you, Adam? Why don't you tell me what Denizen's role is and generally what phase you're going to act in?
Denizen is going to assume the magic officer role because of her skill in mysticism as per, her class. And that's going to help her out greatly because mysticism is typically the skill that's used for all the magic officer actions. And there's a few things that she can do, and she will be acting in the engineering phase.
Carapace is... will probably surprise everybody, but he's going to be one of the gunners. And one of the things that's nice, this is actually the most dangerous ship that I have had the privilege of firing weapons upon, or from. And the amount of damage that I'm going to be unleashing is borderlining absurd. So I'm actually rather looking forward to this. But yeah, my job is very simple. I shoot, but there are different ways to shoot.
Wildstrike is going to be the pilot.
Ooh.
I figured that was fitting.
Yeah.
Aye. Fitting like a duck in a pond.
Whack. Right. Magnum is going to be the in the captain role, which basically his job is to encourage people and give people boosts and, short orders and stuff. Pythagoras is primarily going to be in the computer's role, which can manipulate the systems in various ways to help prop things up, and possibly engineering as well, which is similar, that he can jump back and forth between rounds as needed.
So with that being said, let's go ahead and start this off. We are going to move on to round 1, and this is the engineering phase of round 1. Probably not a whole lot happening on this phase. Is anyone need to do anything here?
I would like to try my hand at scrying. Maybe get some information on... Now, each of these, the asteroids with a thing on them, is that considered a targetable enemy?
Yes, it is.
So I will be scrying this one here.
Do it.
Alright then. Mysticism coming at ya. Right there on roll 20 is a 24.
24 to try and figure out what is going on with that enemy. And that is more than enough to get all the pieces of information that you're going to want. So what you're looking at is a stationary gun turret. It looks like it is automated. It is tiny in terms of like actual starship size. It's not really a starship. Like I said, it's a turreted weapons platform. And I have to give you some statistics, don't I?
Aye, you do.
So, the armor class and the targeting lock are both 20. The hull points for it is 35 points, so 35 hit points. It does not have any shields. And the weapon that is mounted there is a railgun. The railgun has a 20 hex range and will deal 8d4 damage on a successful hit.
Alright. As I am having this vision of what I'm looking at, I'll be explaining it to everyone so they can all have that information as well.
So as engineering on phase 1, let's move on to the helm phase on round 1. That means that you are going to roll for initiative, and in starship combat, whomever gets the higher initiative actually goes last, so they can see what the other ships and the other things are doing, so they can act in response to them. It's a little bit different than the way a typical combat is going to work.
I get a 36.
36. Well, that beats my 20. Which means the enemies are going first, but because they are stationary weapon platforms, they are not going to be flying around anywhere. So they're targeting you, but they're not moving.
Are they doing any sciencey actions? Because that also happens during the helm phase.
They are not.
Oh, happy days then.
Alright, so they are not moving, which means it is your chance to move. And Mike, I believe you said you are the pilot, so you can go ahead and move up to your speed.
What's our goal here? Are we trying to get to the structure?
That structure, you can tell, is the landing bay for a station that is built into the asteroid.
So when we got here, were we expecting a planet, or were we just expecting... We're trying to find out where the signal's coming from, so it might be coming from there, right?
Right.
Or do we know it's definitely coming from there?
This is the closest bot-made structure within the area you expect it to be in. So you believe that this is the place that you're looking to get to.
Are you guys going to try and hail and negotiate, or are we just firing at Will?
Again, we're trying to stop. Leave Will alone. He didn't do anything to you. Why do you people hate Will?
I don't know if that's on my list. Can I take a captain action to do a hail?
You can. Yep, the captain can take their actions during any phase. So yes, the captain can take an action to do a hail.
It's not on my list. I don't want. We probably just don't want to start shooting things unless.
Right. Typically, the combat happens after the talking has been attempted and failed.
Don't think we said anything yet. So
no. Well, you go ahead and try to open hailing frequencies with the station, and you don't get any reply.
All right.
Wildstrike, what are you going to do? Going to move forward? Going to turn and run?
Yep. I'm moving forward a little bit, and I'm taking the evade action.
Evade action?
Nice.
What does evade do for you?
It gives us +2 to our AC and TL until the next round.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Is that a stunt?
Yep.
Alright, so that is the helm phase for round 1. If no one objects, we're going to move on to gunnery.
I object.
object.
Oh, sorry. It's carryover from the trial.
You scan the turret, right, already?
I scrayed it, and I told you about it. It's got an armor class and target lock of 20. It's only got 35 hit points, but it's not shielded at all. It's got one massive railgun on it, probably a 20 hex range, does 84 damage.
Alright, I'm going to do a scan on the building itself.
Adam, do you know the range of the sensors?
The long range is 20, so anything beyond a range 20 would be a -2. Anything beyond a range 40 would be a -4, etc.
So it says it's about 31 hexes to the building. So that would be a -2. Alright. So, computers.
And don't forget you can use the computer as well.
31.
So the building does not have any weapons on it. The building is effectively just a landing pad that is kind of built into the asteroid. There's actually no shielding or anything on it either. It looks like you can just fly the ship directly onto the landing pad and then just boom, there you go. But it does look like it's in either a low power or no power state, because you're not getting any. You're getting very, very little energon readings from it.
So if these things attack us, they're probably automated.
These very much feel like automated defenses. It doesn't quite feel like there's an intelligence behind them.
So there are no life signs in the.
There are no life signs.
Okay.
On the landing pad specifically.
Okay.
Or on the gun.
Or on the turrets that Denizen scryed on. There is one other type of weapon on there that you have not identified yet.
Okay. FYI, Matt, for Magnum's information, the sensors with the no-qual, they have the ability to, you can almost weaponize the sensors. The scanning pulses emitted by a no-qual augmented sensor array can interfere with enemy diagnostics, particularly the functions of any magic tech components. When a science officer uses the scan crew action and exceeds the check DC by 5 or more, they can choose to learn only one piece of information and instead scramble the other ship's sensors, giving the sensors the glitching condition for 1 round for every 5 by which the computer's check exceeded the scan actions DC.
All right.
So you can use our scanners to knock out their scanners if you need to.
All right. So since the ones we know about so far are automated, does that mean like the taunt probably won't work?
Probably not.
Not likely.
But if anybody could upset a computer, it's Magnum.
Very true.
He's very upsetting.
It was a hamster.
Let's go ahead and move on to the gunnery stage for round 1.
So have we been fired upon yet?
No, but you're about to.
Okay, so do I have permission to fire?
I'll allow it.
Yes.
The pilot says to the gunner, shoot!
Are we,
We know there's no life signs on the turret, so you can blow those up.
Goody. Okay. So you said 35 hit points?
Aye, 35.
So I noticed that one of the primary weapons we have is the gravity gun, which can function as a tractor beam. Could an asteroid be flung into another asteroid with said tractor beam?
Yes, but not ones of that size.
Okay.
I mean, take a look. These things are bigger than your ship.
Right, but there's no... It's not like there's resistance. Tractor beams are like tugboats. Like, there's nothing to stop an asteroid. We're applying a technological force, and it has no resistance. Like, you could push a planet if you knew what you were doing.
You'd have to have the right amount of inertia. The mass still counts in space.
Yeah, I don't... Like, just saying that you could push a planet with that, I don't think you could.
Well, planets have a pretty damn fucking big gravity.
I mean, technically, when you jump up and down on Earth, it does move it.
Right.
I move it quite a bit. I did.
I do remember when Voyager passed Jupiter, they actually calculated how much it slowed down Jupiter's orbit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Minuscule.
I mean, it would be eons for it to be even barely measurable, But.
So you got 3 shots coming in. The front one is going to be a flat 20 to hit you. And the 2 ones further back is a 9 and an 11. So I think both of those are misses.
Okay. Well, I'm going to shoot. Let's see how far away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
20
From
away.
the first one?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. We're in range of the long-range weapons.
No, I'm saying like for a medium. Oh, 20, right?
Oh, the first one. No.
10 hexes.
10 hexes? Okay, so that's perfect. Okay, so I'm going to use the, what's my thing? The broadside ability, which is a push. So I'm going to spend a resolve point, which will allow me to fire all the ship's weapons mounted in one arc, which includes turrets.
Nice.
No slow build up here.
You have some turrets on your ship too, don't you?
We do. Well, one, at least as far as I can see. So the
2 can play the turret game.
Absolutely.
When you fire normally, you just usually pick one weapon.
Yes.
So if you had, that's why you could have multiple gunners to do different weapons.
So you could fire. You can fire at will, which is like just like taking a multiple attack. Like you can make 2 attacks with any weapons on the ship, but at -4. Or you can do what I'm doing, which is fire all of the weapons in one arc, but they all take a -2. So I can't do this forever, but it's going to be awesome enough. So the first one, the one that's closest to us, I'm going to hit with the heavy laser cannon, which is, I'm going to take a +3 from the ship, if that's all right.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't like that idea. I don't want you to take a +3.
Yeah, well, I wasn't asking you.
Well, you shouldn't have asked us to design the thing.
Does the effects of my blaster mode apply because it's a ranged weapon?
What's the effect?
I get +1 on ranged attacks, and when I activate my parts, like when I do the free action, it's +2.
In Starfinder, like if you have like an ability like that, would it apply to starship weapons too?
Yes, but it's it's kind of situational. You have to have a training interface module installed in the ship for you to take advantage of certain class feats as part of Starship Combat.
Something that you did in those 3 weeks, then, right?
Sure.
Yes.
Then yes, I'm okay with that.
Okay, so I'll use 2 of my points. That's good. So that first one was a shitty roll. So let's see if I can salvage this. So let's see, Red Star. So that's 14. I rolled a 2, so that's 16. Plus 3 is 19. 19 minus 2 because I'm doing the whatchamacallit, the broadside, and that is so that's a 17.
And that is a miss. That's a miss on the first one.
Then the second shot is hopefully going to be higher than that. Does anybody else? Are there any more actions other than me firing for this round?
Did Magnum take a captain action?
I did the hail, so I think so.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, okay.
Then I'm going to take 2, the other 2 plus 3s, if that's okay. Then that one is a 21.
That's a hit.
And then the last one is also a 21. Wow, I rolled shit on that. But
You suck.
I know, right? So
Wildstrike, get back in the gunner seat.
So on the closest one, which is my persistent particle beam. What does the persistent thing do, Adam?
Doesn't stop.
Yeah, it's just the name of it there.
Don't stop, can't stop, won't stop. So that's 10d6. So that is 10, 20, 30, 34 points of damage.
Which one are you doing that to?
To the closest one.
Closest one? Okay.
That one.
Right.
And then against this one, it's going to be... Which dice do I want to be my murderers? 2d6 times 10, so that is 60.
60. And that 60 damage is enough to destroy that second turret you targeted. Boom. That was the capital weapon you used on it?
That is a capital weapon.
You just imagine this like massive blast from like the primary ship's gun just going at it.
Yeah.
Actually, that was not the capital weapon.
2d6 times 10?
It's the gravity
Oh,
cannon.
the 2d6 times 10? Yeah, that was the cap.
Yeah.
I thought you were rolling for the persistent particle beam.
No, the 10d6 one was, but so like you said, so I did 34, and they have 35 hit points. Like that thing is glitching like a motherfucker, right? Do you want me to roll the four percentiles?
No. There's like one system on it, so it's just that's gonna be glitching.
Okay. So 4 times weapon
unnecessary
system.
for this.
Yes. Okay. So it's effectively disabled.
Right.
Oh, okay. Good. Good to know.
It can try to shoot, but
Yeah. And I am done. Carapace is finished.
all right.
So I mean, it's possible to disable a ship without completely obliterating it. Presumably.
Why would you even ask that question? God.
I'm used to Starfleet battles where it's like, damage is a complicated thing.
It is.
But I wasn't sure if it came over to Starfinder.
The damage that I am doing to you guys from that first turret is 19 damage, and that is going to be on your front shield.
19 damage.
Pitiful, isn't it?
You haven't even gotten us down below triple digits here.
What's your shield on there? 120?
120.
Almost got it.
And that's only because we felt like keeping them all even. We could have started off the battle with uneven shields.
So our shields are primed right now. It's 101.
So how fast do they regenerate?
They don't regenerate until you divert power to the shields.
Okay, here we go. Round 2. Engineering phase on round 2. Does anyone want to do anything in the engineering phase? Denizen, I'm looking at you. Pythagoras, I'm looking at you.
I think I definitely should be doing.
Let's start off with Denizen. What would you like to do?
I think I'll attempt an Eldritch shot to kind of magnify the range of one of our weapons there.
All right. We're going to coalesce the space universe into a shot there, huh?
Aye. Carapace, which weapon do you need the most range from?
I don't want your voodoo magic on me. But
It won't be on you?
I only have one weapon that's medium range, so that one.
All right, so that's the one I'm going to target with the Eldritch Shot. And this number, okay. 34. I think I've done it. All right, so that weapon's range is now a 15.
If I miss this shot, I'm blaming you. Just so you know.
Of course you are. Of course you are.
What do you want to hit?
I mean, I'm going to probably hit one, like, so there's 3 over here to like to the right, our right. I was probably going to take shots at all of those.
All right, so still on the engineering phase on round 2. Magnum or Pythagoras, anything you two would like to do on this round 2?
I guess I will
Taunt them? You want to taunt them, right? You want to taunt your own crew? Taunt Wildstrike.
Actually, encouraging might be the better way to go. Because it's an easy check. Almost a guaranteed +2.
You should encourage Carapace.
Yep,
I'll encourage Carapace.
at this point, your 3 choices would be to encourage Wildstrike for his initiative roll, or his piloting check. Encourage Carapace for his shooting, or even encourage Pythagoras for doing something sciencey.
I'll encourage Carapace for his shooting, I guess.
Could he also do orders because he's 7th level?
He
I can.
could. That's usually a little bit more difficult.
Okay, no worries. Oh, I can't take the
19,
same action
so-
twice. So if I actually no, I could.
Yeah, you'd have to do a different action. So I'm not sure what different action you could do. That's what I thought of that, but I wasn't. I'm not too familiar. I'm not familiar. If anyone has something they want to do 2 of in one round, let me know.
So broadside is an action, but so is fire at will. Like they're actually considered different actions.
True, but each weapon can only be fired once.
Correct.
So I did a +2 for you, Carapace.
Sounds good.
Okay, so here we go. Let's move on to the helm phase on round 2. Go ahead and roll up your initiative there, Wildstrike.
33.
33? Sounds good to me. I got a 20 again. Same roll as last time, which means I am moving, in quotes, first. So I'm not moving at all. And now it is up to you. Helm phase for whomever wants to do their actions.
What targets do you want to shoot at?
My intention was to, if we were going to be heading to the right, so can you see this one up here?
Yep.
I'd say get as close to that as possible.
Do you want this one in range to finish it off, or no?
I mean, it's only got 1 hit point left, so
I'll move us there, and I'll try to do an evade again.
All right, any other actions in the helm phase before we move on to the gunnery phase?
Doing a scan of the last type of enemy we have, the big turrets on the asteroid.
Go for it.
Got a 29.
A 29 is enough to get everything you need. Let's see here. These are missile turrets. So they are heavy plasma torpedo turrets. They have a similar AC and target lock, so 20 each. Similar hit points, they have 35, and also the 20 hex range. However, these bad boys launch heavy plasma torpedoes. Those torpedoes have a speed of 12, and they deal 5d10 damage on a hit.
So they need to get here before they hurt us.
Speed of 10, if we're close enough, they're going to get us, same round that they fire.
Speed of 12.
That's what I said. Speed of 12.
Well, is that 12 hexes?
Aye, that would be 12 hexes.
So I don't know if you can see my pink arrow here.
Oh, these are the ones?
Those are the ones on the big planetoid.
So all of these shoot plasmas?
Correct. All right. Well, let's go on. Let's move on to the gunnery phase here and start doing some shots. It looks like everything around here has kind of figured out what you folks are doing, so they're all going to attempt to take shots at you. So I'm going to go ahead and roll up my shit, and Patrick, you can go ahead and roll up your shit.
Okay.
Wildstrike, were you doing evasive this round?
Yeah, I didn't make it though.
Oh, that's a shame. If only someone had just encouraged you a little.
Wouldn't have mattered.
Okay then. Failures, the lot of you. Can't believe I'm going to be dying in your midst.
You chose this.
It's weird for orders. They need to be able to make the skill check that the other person does.
Yeah, that's why they're usually a little more difficult, because captains might know how to do everything. They're not always great at doing everything.
So coming at you guys, here is the attacks. So the first 5 here are coming in from these railguns, and then the back 4 are coming in from those missile turrets. So the turrets, starting from the top right, which is the one that you are heading towards, Wildstrike, is a 14, which is likely a miss. The one behind that is a 21. Is that a hit?
Yeah, it's 18 for the AC.
Okay, so 21 does hit. The next 2 back, which is the one to the south and the one to the west there, both are at 12, so the misses. And the one at the bottom, the far southern end, got a nat 20 for a 27, which is going to be a hit. Now, the turrets next to the building here, let's see here, are launching torpedoes. So the first one was a nat 20. The second one was a 23, third one was a 26, and the last one was a 7. So
I think the 7 missed.
The 7 did miss, yes. So that one goes inert as soon as the torpedo leaves the barrel.
And what was the low 21 that you rolled?
It was a 23.
23. I believe you said that. What's the range on those?
The range is 20 hexes.
Oh,
but
yeah, so
that's my. I already took the -2.
All right.
Those things don't hit us yet, right? They're going to be headed towards us, right?
Yeah, they're not quite going to make it to a set of speed of 12.
Do they move the same turn they're fired?
They do.
We know they're going to hit unless we stop them before they get here, right?
Right.
Well, that was a little bit complicated on my end because there was a lot of guns shooting on it. So from the direct fire weapons, those railguns, 2 hits. 1 was a crit, the other 3 were misses. Out of the 4 missile launchers, 3 of them made their target lock and have made it a little bit past halfway to you guys. The other one just lost target lock. So, oh well for me. The damage coming in against you is going to be... let's see here, 19 on the first one, which is coming at your front arc, and then 18 on the next one, which is coming in at your port arc, the left-hand side.
Correct. Go ahead. Keep going.
I think that was it.
That was it?
Yeah.
Only 2 hits. I can give you some more if you want.
No. That's fine.
All right, Carapace, it is your turn for some gun stuff.
How many of the +3s are remaining?
All
The
of
games
them?
used them, have they?
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'll use 1 for each of my attacks. For the primary arc, I do the gravity cannon and the heavy laser cannon at the front one. That's beautiful. And the farthest one is I actually rolled an 18 on the die. So that I'll do some nasty damage. So I hit all 3 times. I actually rolled pretty well.
Sweet.
They're better. They're not better than the 20, right?
No, they're not. AC is 20 on those ones.
Okay. With the plus 3s, I hit easily. Okay, so the far one takes...
Top right?
Top right takes 44 from the persistent particle.
Destroyed in 1 hit.
No, it's the other one. This one over here, the far one. And then so the one that you just X'd out previously takes a shot from both the... not class. What's the class of the heavy ones? Beyond heavy?
Capital.
Capital. Yeah, there we go. So the capital gravity cannon does 80 damage to it. And the heavy laser cannon that is not linked with it does an additional 38.
Over 100 points of damage.
I can see the gravity gun like grabbing the entire asteroid and just crunching it like an aluminum can.
Yeah.
All right. Some dangerous things happening on that one. You are 3 turrets completely down. 1 turret you think is glitching beyond the point where it can do anything. But you still have 3 missiles coming in at ya. Let's move on to round 3. And we go to the engineering phase on round 3. Who would like to do what?
Question.
I'll allow it.
With orders, if I tell someone to do something, that means they do something. Basically, he does an action for them, really, is what it is. Would I be able to do orders to Pythagoras for him to do something in engineering and then have him do something with computers on his turn, or would he have to stay at the same station for both?
Yeah, no. The stations are supposed to be designated at the beginning of the round, so you could give orders to any one person, but it's for whatever their role is.
Whatever station they're at, okay.
Right.
Not super useful things I can do twice. Actually, I will encourage Denizen.
Are you now?
Just slap that bear in the butt. Get to it.
Hey. I already told you I don't want you touching me.
18.
Check out that bear.
Yep, that's enough. Do that. You do that. Voodoo. That you do.
Oh well.
Yeah, that's +2.
You do voodoo?
What are you going to do, Denizen?
I'm tempted to try a Mystic Haze. It would cost me a resolve point, but if I can pull it off, it kind of obscures us in this, Mystic Haze, and it will give us additional armor class until next round. But since they're not really using science officer stuff, what the hell? I'll give it a go. Alright, that's what I'm doing. And just to make sure I pull it off, I'm also going to be using one of the computers. Alright, that is as bad as I could possibly get.
What'd you get?
So, I rolled a 1 with my markers and everything. It comes out to 17 plus Magnum's encouragement, as well placed as it was. That would be a 19 plus 3 from the computers. That would be a 22, and it's just not good enough. Because the Mystic Haze, the DC starts at 20, and it just goes up from there, based on the tier of the ship, and I'm well below that.
You're just not familiar with this ship, This is the first time you're on the ship.
Aye.
Honestly, it's kind of presumptuous of you to think you could do that with the ship,
I know, and the first time I trained out the computer thing here.
This is like...
And then Magnum goes and slaps me on the ass. What's that all about?
This is like in Wonder Woman 1984, where she's just like, oh, I'm just gonna, make the jet invisible. Just like, I've never even done this before. I've only heard about this, now, and I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna divert power to Helm to give a +2 to speed.
Oh, okay.
And it is an engineering check, which is a 27.
Well within.
So that will give +2 to speed.
Sounds good to me.
Did you add your +5 in?
Yeah.
Or, Okay.
Yeah.
So that won't make it.
It won't?
DC 31, right?
Yep.
All right, good try. Keep at it. You'll do it. Don't worry. Just keep trying, Pythagoras. You can get there. All right. Helm phase on round 3. Initiative. What do we got there, Wildstrike?
Just so you know, I will be taking the glide action. And I say that because I just made a macro that has piloting in there as well.
Ooh. All right.
So 38 for initiative.
Look at you. You're fucking gliding. You're still beating me on this one. 38 on that. 12 on me. So I am moving again. Rotate. Done.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, do the missiles move on the helm phase here, or do they move on gunnery?
It's on gunnery, and you have to roll another lock, but they will not get any bonus from crew actions or computers. It's just whatever the base gunnery check is.
So they have to keep trying to hit us?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They have to keep the target lock in order to continue moving.
All right, let's do this then. Go ahead and move, there, Wildstrike.
Done.
Anything else in the helm phase before we move on?
Nope.
Gunnery phase then. Gunnery phase on round 3. Let's go ahead and roll up all of your attacks. I got 2 turrets that are going to be, 3 turrets left over that are going to be shooting at you. And those missile turrets are also going to try to see and get a little bit more going on. A couple more missiles popped on here.
So question. We have some of our weapons are like laser nets, and laser nets get an automatic try to shoot down missile turret things, right? Or missiles, right?
Yep. If they approach within that arc, they get a free shot.
So that's probably not going to happen then, because it's port and starboard.
Yeah.
They're probably coming in on the port.
Okay. So, but it only applied to one of them. Like,
Right.
Right.
Okay.
One weapon can get 1 shot, and that's it.
Okay.
I think we should wait to see which ones acquire lock before using that, though.
Totally. Whichever one actually hits us will be the one.
How do the missiles? We work with the missiles though, because last round we couldn't target them because they were just being fired. We didn't know about them until it was too late.
We still can't target them with normal weapons. The only weapons that can shoot at tracking weapons are point defense weapons, and usually it's just the free shot that they get.
Okay. So does that mean since damage is resolved simultaneously, it's impossible to stop these things from hitting us, considering we're all in range now?
No, the point weapons will knock them out before they hit us.
Okay, so that's a special case.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Because it seemed like the only way we could stop them is if they were like 3 increments away.
Coming at you, 3 railgun attacks. One is going to be a 24. The other is going to be a 22, and then the last one way down at the bottom is a 13. I'm willing to bet that 13 is a miss.
Right. It is, the TL for our ship is a 20, or the AC is an 18 though.
Now, the missile turrets are shooting off their bad missiles over here. The first 3, I got an 8, a 9, and a 12. So,
Nice.
3 missiles, all lost on them, so fuck, that's that. However, the last one, I got a 24. So, now, for the big news here. Out of the 3 that are almost to you that are going to move this turn. First one, got an 18.
Yes.
That one loses its lock. Second one, I got a 25. That one retains its lock. Third one, also got a 25. That one retains its lock. All right, so before we roll up damage, Pat, do you want to roll up your attacks and see if you're able to save yourself from this oncoming missile salvo?
Yeah, I'll do the one auto defense for that. Let's see what I got. And I rolled a 6. So that's a 16 versus a 22, so I do not get it.
All right, well, here's what happens. One of those missiles loses its lock, goes inert, and drifts off into the vacuum of space. Those other 2 missiles make their turn and slam into your port side. And we'll see you next time.
Mother effer.
From the secret files of Teletran 1, Empire of Rust is written and GM'd by Michael Ordway. Headmaster Magnum and his partner Pythagoras are played by Matthew G. Denizen, the mysterious druid, is played by Adam H.U. The Decepticon warrior, Wildstrike, is played by Mike M. And Carapace, the bee soldier of primitive Eucharis, is played by Patrick Finn. Additional characters are played by Michael and Cassandra Ordway. Empire of Rust is supported by the humans and networks of planet Earth, whose online networks provide access to libraries of sound effects and music, such as Storyblocks, Zasplat, Blue Zone, and Dark Fantasy Studios. We are distributed by the Transmissions Podcast Network. Stay up to date with all the latest news and reviews in the world of the Transformers by going to transmissionspodcast.com or searching for the Transmissions in your podcast app of choice. You can communicate with the heroes of Iacon by joining us on the Transmissions Discord channel. There you can discuss episodes, talk to the cast, and download the rule set used in the Empire of Rust. Teletran 1, signing off.